filter free.
Welcome to the 6 Feet for Well-being show with Health Promotion Services. I'm Zara.
And I'm Christine. Today we have a fun educational show planned all about resilience.
That's right. Resilience is a very important concept in well-being and coping. And as you may know, elections were last night. And regardless of how you feel about the candidate or what happens with the results, we are all going to need some practice, stress-reducing techniques, and strengthening our resilience for the journey ahead. So let's dive in.
Yes, so first up, we have Unmasking Well-being. So our segment diving into well-being topics. So is resilience a trait or a mystical way of being? Our resident expert will answer those questions shortly. But we are going to take a closer look at a tool that Health Promotion Services offers to students called HeartMath as part of our Resilience Lab.
Yes, HeartMath is an online tool from the HeartMath Institute, a nonprofit organization, and their goal is to really help people bring their physical, mental, and emotional systems into balance, alignment with their heart's intuitive guidance. Our hearts and our brains communicate, reacting to our environments and our thoughts and our feelings. For example, when we perceive stress around us, our heart rates increase, and the reactionary centers of our brain light up to prepare for flight or fight or freeze.
Yeah, so Zara hit on a perfect point just there. So our perception or how we think of what is stressful is enough to create changes in our brain and heart activity. So a stick or a snake in our path can produce the same bodily result, right? Mm-hmm. So same as sort of exams, us worrying about what others are thinking about how we look on Zoom, and so forth. So we decide how stressful something is, which means that we have the ability to change it.
Mm-hmm. HeartMath is a program that helps you monitor your heart rate by hooking up a monitor to your earlobe, and the heart lock technique helps discover what our breath and our mindset can do to our heart rate, therefore demonstrating that the impact we can make on our own stress responses.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in trying out this tool, you can sign up for the Resilience Lab by emailing hps@health.ucsd.edu. You can also check out this service on our website as well.
Awesome. So next up, we have What's the Tea? So this is our segment where we talk about health trends and research. And today we're drinking chamomile tea. It's an uncaffeinated mix of dried chamomile flowers with notes of apple and honey-like sweetness. This delicate floral flavored tea is widely used for relaxation. So maybe grab yourself a cup.
Or maybe a few. Okay, so Zara. So today's health trend that I found really interesting for reducing stress and practicing relaxation was sound bath healing.
So we're taking a bath in sound?
So not exactly. So this is an ancient healing practice from cultures all around the world that uses sounds of varying frequencies to cleanse and heal the soul. So the participant would be immersed in sounds from sources like gongs or singing bowls, percussion, so drums, right, chimes, things like that. So you don't want the sounds to be too repetitive though, because then our brain recognizes a pattern and then may start to wonder and think about all of our to-dos or that embarrassing thing we did earlier. So the sound pattern should really vary to keep our brain's attention on just that sort of sound. So one thing.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, it's like I get a relaxing feeling when I'm listening to certain music. Is it like that?
Yeah, so
Okay.
music can be very relaxing, some types obviously,
Yeah.
right? So it can have a very relaxing effect on our body and our brain. So we have so many thoughts running through our head throughout the day, right? So being able to listen and focus on just one thing gives our brain a break.
And where could I find some of these sounds if I want to listen?
Right. So for sound sort of bath healing, you can look up and type in just into Google or YouTube or something like that and put in sound healing tracks. There's a lot of clips that will kind of pop up. So when you have some free time, just lie down and play one and see how you feel after.
So check that out, try-ins, and let us know what you think. Our next segment is really gonna blow your mind. So we have introducing What's Up with
COVID times.
Right, exactly. We gotta make sure we're safe here. Renee!
Hello!
Welcome, Renee, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Of course. So we wanted to bring in our in-house expert to help us dive deeper into resilience. Can you tell us a little bit of what resilience is?
Yes, absolutely. So kind of the short and sweet definition of resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. When we experience challenges and obstacles throughout our life's journey, even then we can continue moving forward, keep pushing forward rather than faltering in those experiences.
So are people innately born with resilience?
So I am absolutely happy that you asked that question. This is a common misconception when it comes to resilience. So some people believe that there are those who are born resilient and there's others who aren't, but that's absolutely not the case. When we think about resilience, we think about the fact that it takes time, it takes effort, it takes intentionality to really strengthen our resilience. And in fact, resilience is often built upon the foundation of challenges and hardships.
Oh. So are there ways I can strengthen my resilience?
Yes, actually there are multiple ways to strengthen your resilience. So one of those ways is adopting a growth mindset. Knowing that as human beings, we're dynamic. We continue to change, we're ever evolving, and challenges, roadblocks, mistakes, and really opportunities such as these are really areas where we can learn, we can grow to become wiser and stronger. So statements that speak to that growth mindset include things like, I learn from my mistakes. Something else is, I don't know how to do this yet.
I can and I will overcome this.
Exactly. So yes, that is a great example of growth mindset. Another way that we can strengthen our resilience is through optimism. Again, there's often this misconception about optimism that it's all about rainbows and unicorns and that we completely ignore anything that's negative. That's not the case at all. When we think about optimism, it's really looking at the whole picture of a situation or experience, knowing that there are negative aspects of it, but there's also positive aspects. And intentionally focusing on those positive aspects. In addition to that, it's also looking at a situation holistically and choosing to focus on those things that are inside of your control rather than outside of your control. Because oftentimes we kind of get into this mindset where we want to fixate on things that are outside of our control, but that can be really demoralizing.
Right.
And the last thing that I want to note when it comes to strengthening resilience is, although one of the things that we want to talk about is self-care. So self-care is just extremely important when we're talking about resilience, because resilience is all about enduring those hardships and challenges and to keep pushing forward. So when we prioritize our health and well-being in a holistic way, that's really giving us the energy, the motivation, the determination to keep pushing forward, because we are in essence fully charged. We are refueling our body, we're getting rejuvenated, we're really equipping ourselves with all of those different skill sets that we need to keep pushing forward. So when I talk about holistic self-care, it's all about working on paying attention to your physical self, your emotional self, your social, as well as spiritual self.
And there was one last thing, right? So, well, that was the last thing. Well, I really feel like that was something I needed to hear today. I hope you all feel the same way too. So we want to wrap up this segment with a few words of wisdom. Can you share yours with our audience?
Yes, absolutely. So 2020 has been a year like no other. It's been emotionally exhausting. It's been emotionally draining. But even then, we're still able to wake up each morning and conquer the day. We're able to keep pushing forward with every challenge and hardship that we face. We have become stronger, we've become braver, we've become wiser, and in essence, we've become more resilient. And so today, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come in this year of 2020 and just be proud of the ever-changing person that you are, the ever-growing person that you are.
Yeah, thank you so much, Renee. I really like that and I feel it. Let's wrap up the show with our Triton news. So Renee, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
See you back in the office and bringing back Christine over. So we're going to talk about Triton news. Oh, my tie.
So Triton news.
Woo!
So here's some upcoming events that you might find helpful. So do you want to dive deeper into the topic of resilience? There are 2 Resilience in the Making workshops happening this week, both hosted by Renee, whom you just saw. So one is today, actually, at 2 p.m., and the other one is tomorrow at 5 p.m. with the Transfer Hub.
Woo! Go Renee! Now, if you need a space to process and discuss election, CAPS and the campus community centers are offering a space to debrief today, starting at 1 p.m. There'll be 2 sessions, so you can choose which sessions that you want to go into. There's one at 1 p.m. and there's one at 3 p.m.
Yeah, so there are also a few events this week to help you with your occupational well-being. So navigating job applications and that world can be tricky, especially with the uncertainty of COVID-19. So if you need help perfecting your interview skills, grab a clip-on tie. The Undergraduate Economic Society is hosting a Blueprint for Interview Success talk. So with an interview coach and author, Dawn Gregorovich, today at 6 p.m.
And if you're looking for ways to market yourself and your unique experiences, the Career Center and the Triton Transfer Hub is hosting a transferable skills workshop to help you showcase your relevant experiences and how you can translate them into future resumes and interview skills. And that's tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Okay, so what else? There's also this awesome space where you can relax, hang out, and play games, all through Zoom, of course, right now. It's called the Intercultural Social Hour. So connect with fellow UCSD students around the world this Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m.
If you don't like humans but love animals, we've got therapy fluffies. It's back, but with a new twist. So come meet some of your favorite therapy fluffies and watch them do cute things in front of cameras. We know it's not the same as petting them, but we also just love watching cute animal videos. Am I right?
You're right.
Tune in this Thursday at 11 a.m.
All right, so that's all, folks. We hope you can find some time to take care of yourself this week. Remember, you are strong and resilient, and also all of the links for all the events we just mentioned will be in the comments, so check that out.
Yes. Absolutely. So stay healthy,
Be well,
keep tuning in,
and see you next week, Tritons.